Awesome. Hi everyone. Welcome to the 12th. Yeah, this is the 11th episode of DevMar Dots, where we get to chat with developer advocates, developer marketers, and DevRel experts and get to learn from their experience. So today we are talking about hackathons, one of my favorite ways to engage with developers. And here with me is Bia. Bia, please introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Bea and I am DevRel at Infeliz. I am leading all the DevRel efforts um, right now, and I previously worked at VAPI, and I am also one of the co-founders of Lead DevRel, and I'm so glad to be here today. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Sophia, for inviting me.
Yeah, it's also my pleasure to have you here talk about hackathons. All right, so before we start, I would love to get to know, how did you become a developer advocate? What was your roadblock? Did you
Uh-huh.
stumble across the role? Yeah.
Of course. So let's start back by 10 years ago when I started my journey in Brazil. I am actually from Brazil, but I live in the United States right now. And I started as a software developer. So I did an engineering program back in the days. And I was very excited about the field, but I wasn't sure if this is something that I would like go for and like communicate well. I was feeling that stay behind a computer all day couldn't be maybe not my fit at that time. So I went to another graduation, which was an exercise science. I know, totally like random, but I felt the need to communicate with others. So after I finished that, I was already working with front end development. And I also saw the opportunity to leverage and communicate with people, and I was doing like kind of playing with both sides for a long time. But Danny, one of my friends, was working in DevRel, and she said like, "Hey, I think DevRel could be a great fit for you because you also have the marketing experience." Because I worked for a company in New York with marketing specific campaigns, and she was like, "Hey, why don't you check it out? Like, I think it'll be a great fit for you because you don't like to spend like your whole day coding. You like to communicate with people and you have the knowledge. So why don't you try this?" And I was like, I think this will be interesting. And then 3 years ago, I started working in DevRel, talking with people, communicating, helping developers to solve their issues and build faster. So I got in love with that field, and today this is what I'm actually doing for many years. And I had like some roadblocks along the way because I can seem like extrovert, but I'm an introvert. So it took me some time to be well in front of a camera, feeling comfortable and feeling confident, especially because English is not my first language. But yeah, it was like a long, long, long journey, and I'm happy to be here right now. Especially doing what I do. That's what I love.
Wow, that was amazing. And and as a fellow introvert, I have to say that yes, it's very, very tiring to come out of your introvert
Yes.
comfort zone to either talk to people or record content. And kudos to you for trying.
Thank you. I have to say, like, something that was really challenging for me in the beginning was hosting X spaces because I was like interviewing guests and like keeping conversation, and I was like, I feel uncomfortable. But after like many, many spaces hosting it, I was feeling comfortable already with the mic, and I think it just takes time. I know we all just want like to start being perfect, like making no mistakes at all, but that's like
Yeah,
unreal. So yeah, everyone will make mistakes, and you have to give yourself enough time to learn from them and keep going.
I have to agree 100%. And spaces is something that I haven't gotten around to speak at or to host, but someday, someday.
Oh, you
All right.
should.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the topic of the day. So, what do you think a hackathon is, and why do you think they are valuable to developer community?
So actually, like a hackathon is an event where developers or other tech enthusiasts they come together and they collaborate with software projects. And I could say that usually the most valuable thing of a hackathon is the community building. So it's very good for people to use your product to nurture a community and also to leverage your products. And it's also like a great opportunity to do co-marketing with other companies that are in the same tech stack, or either like you can integrate and build together. So hackathon has a lot of potential for community, for leveraging opportunities of co-marketing, and also keeping developers close to your platform.
Wow, that's nice. That's amazing. And yeah, I think so from a developer point of view, hackathons is a great way or a great place for you to meet other developers and for you to build amazing stuff
Yes.
and maybe win some money.
Yes. Okay. We can talk about hackathon prices. I know most developers are seeking for an opportunity to gain some money, and yes, this is so good. But there are some new prices coming up that I have seen so far that I personally think are more valuable than money. It's like internship opportunities. So I
Yes.
saw some companies that are having like an internship opportunity for like the main winner or either like a team winner. And this is a great opportunity for you to work closely with a company, like a big company, and also learn from them. So I know that money is like, it's always good, but there are some prices that companies are offering right now that I think they are most valuable than money, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. And if I ever see a hackathon that would offer me an internship to learn from the people that build a tool or a service that I'm in love with, I would definitely take that. I mean,
Yes,
what's
I
money
know.
over experience?
I think this is something like so valuable, even like gaining mentoring sessions or either like a one-on-one weekly with someone from the team, like a VP of research or someone that it can provide value to you. I think both ways are good wins for a hackathon.
True, true, true. So I do have another question. So now, what are some key benefits of hosting a hackathon from a developer relations point of view?
Okay. Um, First, it can give you a developer hands-on experience with the platform. I feel like there's no better way to understand the tool by using it to build something. So it can lead to a significant increase in platform usability and also adoption when you use that in a hackathon. Hackathon can also provide like great feedback from your team. So when developers are using your product to build projects, they can find bugs, they can find limitations, or they can also find like potential improvements that you might not see. So that's a great opportunity to have a feedback from who is using your product. This is very, very good. Um, Another thing, as I told you, it can strengthen your developer community. So you have a developer community and you're feeling like you have to bring like some more energy, more engagement, and also more like a collaborate environment. Hackathons are good for that because people are going to team up, they are going to help each other, and they are going to build together at the same time, which is very valuable for the community. And it can also help you, as I told you, like those internships opportunities, they are very good because it can help you identifying like talented developers who can become advocates for your platform or either like the company's platform. And also those great developers could um, get closer to your company as well. So this is very good, especially to get their feedback from usage and building with that. And other thing that I also like, and that's from a marketing, social content perspectives, hackathons are fun. So they deliver like fun content to your company, and you can also leverage that between social media. So I think it's a win-win from all of the developer relation sides, and it's a very good opportunity.
Oh, I did know of the first and second, or the first, second, and third, but I had no idea of the third benefits. That's actually really, really good. That's nice. So now I
Yes.
have yeah. So can you talk more about the very first hackathon that you hosted, and how did you come up with a team? What was the focus?
Of course. Sorry, I have a train passing by right now. Big
Oh,
city problems. But I hope you can hear
actually
me.
can't hear it. Yeah, I can't see the train, so you are good.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, so the how do you decide? Wait, wait, wait. What's the question? Because I have another question here.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So this is the question. How do you decide on a team or focus on of your hackathon? But
Okay,
I would
okay.
also love you to relate this with the very first
With the
time you
first.
hosted a hackathon as a DevRel. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. So the first time that I hosted a hackathon was for Vapi, a voice AI company that I worked for in the past. And we had this hackathon. It was very fun. It was a 7 day hackathon, remote hackathon. And we had a lot of great developers building with the platforms. And we also had a great opportunity to uh, do collaborations with other companies like DeepGrand, Grok, and Outerbase, Vercel itself. So it was like a great opportunity to leverage content with them and also have provide a space to build with other tech stacks, which is also like really cool.
Yeah.
And about the theme. So deciding a theme with the hackathon is kind of a collaborative process because you have to start looking by what is current trends in the field. Like from my perspective, with Bapi being an AI company, like you have
Yeah.
to know what's trending and what you can leverage in your side, and you have to ask yourselves like what are developers excited about, what challenges are they facing. We also can consider the platform's capabilities and kind of areas that we want to drive that innovation that a hackathon brings. So if, for example, we've just like released a new feature, we might deem the hackathon around that to encourage people to actually use it. And we can also have the input from the community itself, so we can regular like talk to them, talk to the community, have some great discussions. Discord is a great platform for that because you can talk to developers in an easy way, a fun way, and also other developers can join the conversation as well, so that's really valuable. And we also have to think about the impact, the potential like real world impact of your Dean hackathon, because those themes they can address like social challenges and can lead to more meaningful participation. So this is a good one good thing for you to think about. And also, we personally, from my perspective, we have to aim for themes that are like broad enough to allow diverse projects to come by, especially from beginner developers to advanced developers. So we have to have an open mind around it.
Wow, that was very very insightful. And yes, I think that the theme of a hackathon should be based on the company's like their
Tech stack.
niche.
Yes.
Yes, or tech stack, yeah. So at the hackathon, the one you did at Vapi, what were the first steps that you took when planning the hackathon?
Well, planning a hackathon can be like very, very like daunting, challenging, but it can allow you to start with a solid foundation. So the very first step that you have to do is have a clear goal. So you had to ask yourself, what do we want to do? What do we want to achieve in this hackathon? Are we looking for platform adoption? Are we looking for generate like innovative ideas, or like having a bunch of use case to use, or even help developing and engaging more the developer community? So the first thing that you got to do is set those goals and go for it, because it will shape all your strategy. After that, you have to identify your target audience, and how do we do your target audience works and also collaborate in the space. um, you have to know your audience to actually see and have knowledge of what they need. So you have to talk with your community. And after that, you have to set a date, a clear date. From my perspective, I have seen a lot of hackathons that are 2 days or even like one day. And I personally don't like it, because I feel like we all have lives, right? And this
Yeah.
is kind of a short notice to you, for you to build something like meaningful. So I personally like hackathons that are like 5 days or even a week, like 7 days, because you can have like more time to do so. We did that with Vapi's hackathon. We had a 7 day hackathon timeline, and it was great because we had a lot of great projects, which was hard to decide by the judging part. But we had like very good projects from that perspective. And we also had time. We could provide time for those developers to build without that fast kind of
Yeah.
need. So that was great. That is a great thing to have in mind too. And also, when you are doing this hackathon, talking about the prices again, you have to set up like a clear budget for that. And this all of this will help you shape all the strategy plan before like going live, or even talking to other developers from the community. So if you have all those goals settled, you can then start like co-marketing and looking for sponsorships, because you have a valuable team, you have the prices that you want to offer, and also you have a meaningful community that is waiting for that. So that is something to have in mind.
Oh, that's very very good. So speaking from my experience, I have participated in a 1 day hackathon and I did not love it at all. Yeah,
Oh,
sure, I did love the fact that I got to work with other students across West Africa, but I did
yes.
not love the fact that I only had 12 hours to build um, an MVP. That was very hard, and it
Yeah.
happened on a day that I had so many classes, so I had to um, cut my like
Rush.
skip. Yeah, so I ran from my first class back home, ran back, and I skipped the remaining classes. And yeah, it was very messy, but I did love it because first of all, it helped me think on my feet. Since it was 12 hours, I had to think very fast. We
Mhm.
had to prioritize the feature for the MVP. And like I said, I got to meet and work with other students in West Africa, but I hated it because it gave me little time to think, little time to implement what I wanted to
Yes.
implement. So yes, one day hackathons sucks.
So it was um, a live hackathon, like not a remote hackathon. So for live in person hackathons, I think it's good to have like those strict hours, because of course you cannot like build a week in person. That would be like
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe those in person hackathons should be like short term, like yours. And
Yeah.
it's a good experience. You can say that. So it's a good
Yeah.
experience. It's rushed,
Yeah.
but it helps you to develop faster, and also fast thinking. So it's a
True.
win-win.
Yeah, true. But mine was not an in-person hackathon. I'm hoping to, get the opportunity to be part of an in-person hackathon. Mine was a remote live
Okay.
hackathon, and yeah, it was very messy.
Nice. Nice, nice.
All right. So I have another question. What tools or platforms would you recommend for managing hackathon registration, project submission, or judging?
Okay. So first, for the planning part, I like to plan it all at Notion. So I use Notion for everything. And I think Notion is a great space for you to set up deadlines for your team, and also like target the person who is working with you through the hackathon. So I do
Yeah,
all the strategy plan at Notion first. And then I have like other few tools that I like. So I like to use Luma for subscriptions. So I set up an event on Luma and I gather all the subscriptions there. And I also like to set up a tally form. So this tally form, you can upload your submission and send it. We can also like have a clear understanding from the visuals. From Tally's visual platform. So it's a very good to see like clearly on all the submissions. And I have to say, like I tend to keep it very simple. So for the judging part, I use like an Excel plan, like a table of Excel that all the judges are there, and they are also like judging and getting all the points, so we can all see in one place what everyone is doing. And for the communication part, I really like Discord and having like proper channels for the hackathon where people can discuss what they have been building, and also having someone for the team that can help and mentor in between this process. This is
yeah,
very like good, and I like social media to spread the word and show like, especially for timelines. And in my case, Vapis hackathon was 7 days. So it's a lot of day, and people can actually have like not a clear vision of a timeline. So you can use like
true.
social media to say, hey, 5 days left, hey, 3 days left, like one day, last 12 hours to submit. So this is a great way to keep people like really with you throughout all the process. And also for
Yeah.
code repository, I love GitHub. GitHub is the key.
I mean, if you are a developer, or you're a developer advocate, or a DevRel professional, and you don't know how to use GitHub, that's just
Forget
very bad.
about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, in a hackathon, once the participants are done submitting the project, how do you go about judging, or how do you come up with the judging criteria for the submissions?
About the judge criterias, I actually like to have like three um, 3 points that I always like look for. So number one criteria is creativity. This one is actually what brings a hackathon like fun. So it has to be a creative project. The second one is how complex is the tech and how complex did your code evolved throughout the building process. And the three one is having a great idea and a great presentation as well. Because I have seen some projects that are really cool, but they don't have a good presentation between the demos. So we are looking for those three things, and each one of them has like a different weight. So it can be like weight 5 for creativity, and a weight 2 for tech complexity, and like a weight 1 for demos. So it depends. It depends on what the company needs, but usually I like to use those three categories for that.
Awesome, awesome. So we have a question from the audience. Trust asks, do you think it's wise for an organization to outsource a hackathon management?
Yes. Uh, I would say that hosting a hackathon requires a lot of work. And if you don't have a special team to collaborate into this process, yes, you need someone to help you manage the hackathon. But if you do have a team that actually can provide you, can collaborate, and can have the time, like the pay time to do so, you don't need it. It depends on what you want to build, and it depends on your how your DevRel team is settled between the company. And this is a tricky question, but yes, it depends. But usually, the answer is yes. You need someone to help you manage the hackathon.
Wow, thank you. So now, okay, when outsourcing the hackathon management, now by hackathon management, should it be like a DevRel agency or a DevRel consultant?
So most of the times it's a DevRel agency, or it can be a product management agency focused on developer communities. Either way, you have to find uh, a proper team that can handle event planning, product management, and also DevRel. So that's something that you look for, independent of the name of the company.
Yeah.
You have to look for those three categories to help you managing the hackathon.
No, noted. Awesome. So, before I ask the next question, if you're watching and you have a question about hackathons, how to host hackathon as first timer, or you've got any question regarding that, do well to leave them in the comments, and Bia is here to answer that question.
Yes.
Okay. So next, now, how do you structure the timeline of a hackathon from kickoff to final demos?
Okay. So in advance, a better timeline for you to actually plan and properly plan a hackathon, I would give you 2 months, like at least. And it requires a lot of structure and collaborations with other companies. So probably other companies are having other collaborations. So you have to be like really early in time to reach out to them so they can take part and have like enough space into their team to actually help you. So I would give you at least 2 months to start organizing that. About the timeline, so as I said, I typically like 7 days workflow, probably starting on Monday, like first day, and
Yeah.
ending Sunday evening. This will give you like proper time to build. And also after that, I would like to give like 3 to 4 days to judge, to do all the process, and then the next days or next 2 days we host the award ceremony. So this is kind of the timeline
Yeah.
that I run between the hackathon.
Oh. Oh, that's insightful. So now you I'm not sure if you spoke about sponsors, but how do you reach out to sponsors, or how do you secure sponsors for a hackathon as a DevRel? And what benefits do you think that the sponsors could bring to the hackathon and the company could bring to the sponsors?
So securing sponsors for your hackathon is like really really important, and especially to improve the event experience and also expanding the reach of your hackathon. So you have to find sponsors, and you can start with companies that are into your tech stack or into the same developer environments that your company is into. And also you can identify those companies that could align with your hackathon theme or products or either like service that could be valuable to your participants. So that requires a time of planning. And I like to begin by leveraging what I have in my network. So I often reach out to companies who I have partnered before, and those ones that could be a potential fit. And when approaching to these companies, I
Yeah.
do have in mind that we need to highlight the mutual benefits. So we have to highlight the exposure that you get to the talented community that you have, and also the opportunity to showcase their products and having a dev building with it. Um, we can have a great opportunity to showcase their products, their APIs, or either have a positive brand association and with supporting the developer education and also all the developer community. We can offer also like different levels of sponsorship. So some companies could give like credits, other companies could give credits or swags. So it really depends on what are the overall prices settled, but usually companies offer like extra credits or even like premium features for those who are building with it. And we also have to have in mind the different levels of sponsorship for that. So some companies would like to have like more money involved, and some companies would like to have the internship program or either like swags and something simple. And you have to set those on a one-on-one call with those companies. So it really depends, and you have to see what you can offer for prices after all the sponsorship timeline. And the great things about sponsoring is that you obviously have some financial support, which
Yeah.
allow to have like a better price for those developers and also improve the event quality. But like beyond that, we can have sponsors who can provide like valuable resources for those participants. So have like having expertise from those companies, like having some mentors or even like VPs or some alpha developers that build and are part of the team can also have access to those developers that are building through the hackathon. So you have a great opportunity to reach those people that you don't have outside of a hackathon. And you have also having those sponsors with you could give you some credibility around your hackathon if you are an early stage startup or even uh, you're starting building your product, having those companies, those big companies as your sponsors can help with the co-marketing and can help people to know your product as well, reaching out other developer communities. So those sponsorships can lead to like long-term partnerships, and it depends on how you manage that.
Oh, that's really insightful. Now, speaking of credibility, what other strategy work best for attracting participants to participate in the hackathon?
So having a clear communication and having a real honest communication with those devs. I have seen some hackathons that failed in that part, and devs were just like, no, like I won't even submit to that. So you have to be really clear about all the judging process. So all the criterias and all the prices, how you're gonna ship the prices, and also what they can expect from your end, from your team about helping them to build. So this is a great way to attract participants to a hackathon, especially having like some use cases or demos. So one thing that I like to do when I am planning a hackathon is have like, okay, like those are the ideas that you can build with a product. So you can take those ideas and you can leverage that the way you want. So bringing some ideas just like to keep to to have a starting point, and it's also something that attract people to your hackathon.
True. I mean, I have to agree with the honest communication, because I mean, if the company is not honest about the way they plan to run the hackathon, it's a huge red flag. Yeah, for and the devs would be reluctant to want to participate in the hackathon. So we do have another question. So Trust asks, what do you think is an ideal price structure to reward participants? Rewarding one winner, or rewarding three winners, or determining winners via external voting?
I like three winners. So I think three winners give enough space to actually gives value to other projects. I think when you have only one winner, like you kind of miss the point of how having your community show off what they have been doing with your product. When you have just one demo showing up, you can have like, okay, like this person did that, but what others did. So you can also leverage that by social media, but having like prices with that can help you think like, hey, okay, maybe I'm not the first one, but I have like the chance to be the second or the third winner, and I'm gonna put effort to this. So having that, those three winners can help you with the community engagement and also the motivation for that. So that's why I think you should go for three winners. And I also like the idea of external voting. This is really, really good because you can showcase like, hey, top, um, those are the top like 10 projects or like 5 projects that we have. And you guys are helping us to vote for the best one. And this could be like a category as well on the judging process, like having a weight. Um, and this way you can have the community helping you decide which increase, like, hey, like I have this idea is great, like I have one as well, I thought about that. Or even like you can help keeping those communications like warmed up, and you are actually feeling like you took participation of something, even if you
Yeah.
don't, even if you don't win, like you have a feeling that you took part of this, like somehow. So yes, I really like the idea.
Yeah. I mean, I do I too like the idea of external voting, because if I'm in a community, developer community, where a hackathon is going on or has ended, and the company is like, so these are the top 20, these are the top 10 projects, and we would love you to decide who wins, and I get to see each of the projects, and I get to vote on them. That will not just make me feel like I belong or I participated in the hackathon, but it could also give me a creative idea on how to participate in the next or the upcoming
Yes.
hackathon.
Yes,
True.
I totally agree.
Yeah. So now in a hackathon, how do you handle unexpected challenges or disruption when when the hackathon is going on?
You by disruption, you mean like um unexpected challenges that you can face when hosting your first hackathon?
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing that you gotta have in mind is that, well, as I said, it's your first hackathon. You don't have to be perfect and you don't have to master like all of the planning stuff. And you can also
True.
talk to other people who are developing those hackathons and take some insights from them. So, things that I personally faced as a challenging uh, in Vapi's hackathon was the time zones. So I had like a clear timeline in my head, but working with other companies that have different time zones was kind of something that I was not expecting. So having clear timelines with the time zone you choose, it's
Yeah.
important because if you leave that clear like unclear, um, it can get messy, I would say. It can get messy, especially communicating that as well to developers. So, you have to say, like, hey, application starts by Monday, 8 a.m. PT, and it ends 12 a.m. PT. So you have to be really clear. And this is something that I was like, isn't that obvious because of the time zone that the company actually works for, attend for? But no, this is not always clear. So, yes, having those timelines clear, this is something that I have faced, and you have to really be clear about that. And also about the judging process. So the
Yeah.
judging process can be like a lot more complex than expected. You have like many creative projects, and comparing them fairly was a challenge because people have their own perspective about what they see. So you have to pick those judges, really select those judges to help you having no issues around that. And especially from my perspective, having someone from the collaboration team that is working with you, so other companies having like one person for each company and one
Yeah.
person for your company, this is a good way to don't have like too many people judging at the same time, because this can be tricky and you have to overcome this. So you have to really be clear about the judging criteria and also structure that in a way that everything aligns together. So those were the challenges that I faced and I was not expecting at all.
Well, I actually never knew some of these challenges you talked about, because like you said, if a company is hosting a hackathon and they say 10 a.m., like the submission starts 10 a.m., of course I would know that it's 10 a.m. their time. It can't be 10 a.m. my time, because yeah, that makes no sense. So I had no idea that when
Yes.
hosting a hackathon, you have to be as clear as possible.
You do. And also about the timeline. So I had submissions that were submitted like a week after the hackathon. And I was like,
No
like,
way.
like the hackathon is over. What is going, what is happening? And I was like, oh, okay. Clear communication.
I
Something was
guess they were
missing.
feeling a bit creative, and they just wanted to still be part of the hackathon.
Like I want to take part. Like I don't mind. It's over. Like
Yeah.
I want to give my 2 cents here.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so besides being clear, besides the clear communication, what are some best practices for facilitating the hackathon or
Mhm.
keeping the participants motivated during the hackathon?
Okay. So when it comes to the prices and also best practice, um, from my personal experience, I have like good prices. Having good prices aligned with career opportunities are the best way to work with, um, because they can leverage a real world opportunity for those people who are participating. And yeah, you can also have like cash prizes, which is popular and can be a strong motivation as well. And we usually in the dev community we offer those cash prizes for the top 3 teams or like having one winner. But money is not the only thing and not like a primary motivator for those
Yeah,
people. And offer career advancement or like some learning opportunities. I think it's the best way. And even like having swags from Vapi's perspective, for the hackathon we did, we shipped credits, we shipped swags, and we also had like some developer swags that we thought it was interesting for the community. So the first person received an opal camera, which is a really good prize.
wow.
Yes, the second person received a mechanical keyboard from Nafi, which is a great mechanical keyboard between the dev community. And also the third was it's like an ergonomic mouse. So looking for those prices that are really interesting for your audience is great. But from my personal perspective, those career opportunities and also having those mentoring sessions with someone from the team is much, 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 much more valuable because you can also start building a network with those people. So,
I agree. True. That's
yes.
100% true. It's participating in a hackathon that's for developers shouldn't just be all about the money. It should be about
Yes.
connecting with people, building with people. I think that's one of the reasons why I really love hashtag hackathons, because I think sometime last year I got to work on a project with someone I've never met before, but I connected with him, and we actually built an amazing stuff. Though we didn't win, but at least we built an amazing stuff, and we do
Mhm.
talk from time to time. So um I genuinely think that hackathon shouldn't be a place that devs should go to think of just money, but they should also go to connect with people, to learn,
Yes.
to try out new tools, to try out new products, to try out new services as well.
Totally. I totally agree.
Okay, so as we come to the end of this live podcast, I would love to ask, what advice would you give someone hosting their first hackathon?
Okay. So, first thing that I would advise is start planning early, like really earlier. Um, from my perspective, having 4 months in advance would be an awesome timeline, because you can leverage all the opportunities between that time and also have time to settle the structure, like a really, really great structure.
Yeah.
Um, then you can have like those clear goals defined, and you're looking to promote. You have to think about, like, are you looking to promote a new product, or building new ideas, or also like constructing the developer communities? So setting up those goals in a clear way is essential for that. Don't miss that. It's really, really
True.
important. And also having those clear goals about the judging criteria and about the event format. Like, is your are your demos or are what ceremony being showed at Discord, are being showed on X? You have to leverage the right social media for that and see where your developers at. From my perspective, I saw that a lot of FAPI community were actually in Discord and not in X. So you have to see where your community is and where those developers are building inside, and set up clear spaces for that. So I think X is a really great space for you to have like timelines and social contents, like engaging social contents around that. But all of those mentoring and feedback conversations should be placed on Discord, because it's actually what they are all the day. And building a strong and diverse planning team for that is also crucial, in my opinion, because you're going to need people with different skills, like technical skills, event planning, marketing, and also community management. So you need people who are really good at that so you can have a successful hackathon. And also be careful when choosing your tools, like your submission tools, or either judging tools, the planning, because
Yeah.
you can test that and it can something can happen throughout the event. So really test those platforms that you are going to use and check if it's a good way. See, not don't try anything new. Go with what you know. And what you know, it works. So don't overcome that. And also, as I told you, be very, very clear in the communication process, all the communication process, not just outside, talking with the developers that are building with your tech stack, but be clear in those communications also to your sponsorships, from with all your team. Everything must be moving clearly together. You cannot like move people with separate stage. So you have to be with your team like together from the end
Yeah.
to the beginning. And
Wow.
of course,
That's what
don't think your hackathon will be like perfect, because things happen. But just
true.
have fun. Like, just have fun, plan it wisely, and if you have like any questions or you are facing any roadblocks, like go for people that you think they can help you with those roadblocks. Like, ask for
I
help.
agree.
We have a
True.
lot of
Well,
people who are here to help.
yeah. Yeah, well, that was an amazing advice. I mean, I hope you all took notes because personally I did take notes and yeah, and I hope I get the opportunity to work to host a hackathon in the future so that I'll be able to use everything I've learned from this podcast there. So
Thank
yeah,
you. Yes.
before you go, I would love to ask, can you tell us a bit more about Inferless? I hope I pronounced that right.
Yes.
And if we would be expecting any hackathons sometime soon in the future.
Okay, so Inferless, it's a serverless GPU inference, where you can deploy your models into an infrastructure that it's already ready to manage those workflows and manage it, your models. And what is great about Inferless is that I have seen from others that other companies, that you cannot deploy your own model. So at Influence, you can have your own custom model and you can deploy that into the platform. And it's great to manage those workloads. You actually We are actually into a beta phase, and we are going to
Yeah.
launch it soon. I cannot say dates, cannot say anything at all, but yeah, expected to be soon. And we are very excited for more people to know about Infraless and also build together with us. And I have a lot that I want to say, but I cannot. But we're not having hackathons around those couple months, but
Oof.
you can expect that great things are coming, and I am very excited for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and hackathons. And yeah, I can't wait for the launch of Inferless. I think I'm following the X handle, so I really can't wait for that. And thanks and I also thank everyone for coming, for watching. Please do also follow Bea on X. If you still have any questions on hackathon, you can make a tweet, tag her, and she would definitely share her knowledge on that. So I think we have another live podcast in 2 weeks. I will definitely tweet about it on X, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified when we go live or when we schedule a live stream. Thanks you everyone for coming, and see you in our next stream. Bye.
Thank you, guys.